but I'm still gonna be that fly that surrounds your face, but really just makes you smack yourself. Look at this, nice button down. We're official today. So let's say you're currently a freight broker or an agent. You just got your first shipper, for example, let's say last week, and they trusted you to move a load for them. Everything delivers just fine. You're like ecstatic. You're thinking like, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna make so much money off the shipper. Everything went just awesome. Like my communication was great and everything. Fast forward a week, no calls or emails back from that same shipper. Another couple days goes by and you're thinking like, you know what? I think it might be time to check in. So you pick up the phone, you dial their number, and you say the 4 dreaded words, hey, just checking in. And just like that, you have shot yourself in the foot. Here's the thing, shippers hear just checking in about 20 times a day, all right? They're answering that question so many times, they could seriously care less about how genuine you sound when you say that. It doesn't matter how you word it, they don't care. It is background static. And to them, it screams, I have nothing to offer you, but I'm still gonna be that fly that surrounds your face, but really just makes you smack yourself. And honestly, like at that point, doing nothing would have been better, because the more you just check in, the more they associate your calls with having absolutely zero value, because that's all they are. And they will stop answering your calls altogether. They will not email you back. They won't call you back anymore. Let me take you back to that first load. You're pumped because that shipment went so well for you. And the shipper even hinted that they had consistent freight. So naturally, you're thinking, I'm about to be their go-to. Like they said, they have 5 shipments going every week. You're gonna like, you know what? I'm gonna be the go-to guy. I'm for sure gonna move all 100 loads for them every month because that one load went perfect. But here's what you missed. The first load wasn't a test of your ability to deliver freight. It was a test of how you handle the relationship afterwards. So tell me, what should you have done if it's not delivering their load on time, which is your job? That's the only thing you have to do. Honestly, it is pretty simple. You have to stop asking for freight and start providing value. Think about it. Think about it from their perspective. They don't need another broker asking like, hey, how was your weekend? Like, oh, by the way, got any freight? Like, think about what are you going to say on that call that isn't that question if you haven't done any research or anything ahead of time. That call is gonna go nowhere. They need someone who knows their shit. Someone who can like voluntarily tell them what's happening in the market and how it affects their business to become the subject matter expert that they didn't know they needed. Because guess what? This is the best possible way a freight broker or an agent can carry their relationship moving forward. All right, here's how you flip the script. Instead of just saying like, just checking in, you send them an email or a call if you're really confident about whatever you researched that said something like this. Hey, I noticed capacity is tightening up in your region. Load to truck ratios are spiking, and with that storm rolling in next week, that's gonna be pretty rough for securing trucks in your area. So if you have any critical shipments, I'm more than happy to help. See the difference? Now you're not just a broker or an agent. Like, you're now a problem solver for them. Like, you are the person now that they look to for answers, not just like another voice over here that's like nagging at them asking for freight all the time. Like, I get it. I have been there. I have dialed thousands of times. I have been to so many shippers in person. I have sent thousands of emails, tens of thousands probably at this point, that don't get responses, okay? I know how frustrating it feels to be ignored. But what I found is that the brokers who win are the ones who take the time to educate their shippers and prove their expertise. So here's the challenge. Start sending weekly market updates. They don't have to be perfect, okay? Your first time might even take you a whole day to put one together, and that's totally fine. The point is to start. You can use DAT, you can use FreightWaves together. So much data that's out there. There's so much news. You can highlight things like capacity or like weather disruptions or industry trends. There's so many of that out there. There's a ton of port strikes out there. Your warehouse in LA is likely burned down, and so you might struggle to receive loads on Friday. Okay, too soon, but make it relevant to their business though, okay? So you're getting the idea. This is how you build trust This is how you stand out amongst the crowd of the hundreds of other brokers that are reaching out to them on even sometimes a monthly basis for some of these contacts. But if the 2 Fortune 500 companies that I worked for before this made it a standard practice for me to send out a weekly market update every single week, like, why shouldn't we when we have access to almost the same data for free online? Your job isn't just to move freight, okay? It's to be the expert that they can rely on and they can trust knows their shit. So stop checking in and just start showing them why you're the broker they've been waiting for, all right? And by the way, I do send out my own market recaps every week, which I post in our Discord chat. So you can use mine as templates if you want, straight up, and just copy and paste them to your customers so you can look like the expert in front of your current shippers or shippers that you're trying to win back. So let's get it. I'll see you in the next one.